Here is a beautiful English text of 500 words based on the verse Isaiah chapter 7 verse 18. Isaiah chapter 7 verse 18. It will happen in that day that Yahweh will whistle for the fly that is in the uttermost part of the rivers of Egypt, and for the bee that is in the land of Assyria. This verse, seemingly simple in its imagery, is a powerful declaration of divine sovereignty and a chilling prophecy woven into the fabric of ancient Israel's turbulent history. To truly appreciate its depth, we must understand the context of Isaiah's message. King Ahaz, facing threats from a coalition of enemy nations, was tempted to seek an alliance with Assyria, a move that Isaiah vehemently opposed. The prophet urged Ahaz to trust in Yahweh, promising deliverance, but Ahaz, driven by fear, clung to worldly power. Thus, this verse emerges as a consequence of Ahaz's lack of faith. The fly from the distant Nile and the bee from the land of Assyria are not merely insects. They are symbolic representations of foreign armies, summoned at the divine whistle of Yahweh. The image is unsettling. A gentle whistle, usually associated with calling a pet or a child, is here used to beckon forces of destruction. The uttermost parts of Egypt and Assyria, the farthest reaches of known power, are brought to bear on Judah. What is the profound message embedded within this unsettling imagery? It speaks to the utter control that God wields over all creation, even those powers that seem opposed to His will. The fly and the bee, small and insignificant in themselves, become agents of divine judgment when called upon by God. This underscores the reality that no nation, no army, no earthly power exists outside of God's ultimate authority. He can use whomever He chooses, however unlikely, to fulfill His purposes, whether for blessing or for correction. Furthermore, the verse highlights the consequences of misplaced trust. Ahaz sought security in earthly alliances, believing that the strength of Assyria could protect him. Isaiah's prophecy revealed the tragic irony. The very power he relied upon would ultimately become the instrument of Judah's suffering. This serves as a timeless warning against placing our faith solely in worldly solutions. Political alliances, military might, economic prosperity, all are fleeting and ultimately powerless to provide true and lasting security. The buzzing of the fly and the stinging of the bee remind us that our choices have consequences. Disobedience to God, a turning away from His guidance, can unleash forces that we never anticipated. Ahaz's fear led him down a path of self-reliance, a path that ultimately brought destruction upon his kingdom. Yet, even within this prophecy of judgment, there is a subtle thread of hope. The image of God whistling implies a deliberate act, a purposeful orchestration of events. He is not a passive observer but an active participant in the unfolding of history. Even in the midst of discipline, He remains in control. This suggests that even the suffering brought about by disobedience can ultimately serve a higher purpose, a refining fire that purifies and draws us back to Him. Therefore, Isaiah chapter 7 verse 18 is more than just a historical prophecy. It is a timeless reminder that true security lies not in earthly power but in unwavering faith in the sovereign God. He is the one who whistles, and all creation, from the smallest fly to the mightiest army, answers His call. Let us strive to place our trust in Him alone, knowing that He is faithful to guide us through the complexities of life and ultimately bring us to His eternal purpose. The lesson is clear. Seek God first, and all other things will fall into their proper place, under His watchful and sovereign care.